J.D. Vance went over there back in, what was it, March, and he told NATO to their face, look, if y'all want to continue this war in Ukraine, you got to have to do it because it ain't going to be Article 5 and we ain't going to be participants.
Well, Trump resupplied them last month.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as actually putting in military forces or boots on the ground.
Okay. Armament is not the same as boots on the ground. Right, I agree.
So and like we talked about it initially when we opened up, I think that is okay. I know you didn't really want to talk about Bill Barr, but I want to talk about this for a second, just because it's a big deal. So Bill Barr was right in the thick of it, meeting with people like Fannie Willis to prosecute him in down there in Georgia. He was in it with Letitia James up in New York. It was like he was the ringleader coordinating many of, and this is according to a whistleblower, that Bill Barr was the person who was coordinating a lot of the lawfare against Trump. Okay, now that said, I'm a firm believer that Trump is an expert in putting people who he wants to highlight into positions of authority,
so they can be wrecked.
Right. And well, I think that's exactly what I mean.
What position of authority is Bill Barr being put into right now? I don't see that.
He's not, but he was the he was the attorney general.
I know, but he's getting publicity now. He's being outed. He's being outed.
But nobody would have known who he was had Trump not put him into the position of attorney general in the last year of his presidency or whatever,
so that he could betray Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, and I think that's a very valid approach. The way I hear people describe it is Trump puts people on stage.
Yes.
And they get publicity. Yeah. So that they can be revealed as traitors or killers or thieves stealing money. And then he can say, well, I didn't know. It happened and they got exposed. But he's like a manipulative coordinator behind the scenes, and in a constructive way. I like that in him. But I got to say that some of his decisions lately, by aggravating Putin, supplying NATO, telling Russia that they need to give back the lands, telling Russia that they're fighting a war where people are dying in Ukraine trying to protect their country, attacking Iran. He's done a lot of things that are very much against what he campaigned back in autumn of 2024. So we need to understand what the heck he's doing.
Well, I am of the opinion that Trump has, in many respects, almost been groomed for this position going back several decades. I've been doing quite a bit of research on this, and I tend to think that Trump has been groomed for this. If you go back and you look at a lot of the things that he said in the 80s and 90s on TV when he came out on 9/11, and he was like, there's no way those buildings could have come down that way. There's a lot of things out there that he has been on the periphery, but he's been consistent.
Yeah.
He's never wavered.
Could be groomed very much. By the way, I have a client who I've gotten to know a little bit in the last 2 years, and he was in South Manhattan on 9/11. He was there that morning, and there were no planes. It's a television event. There were no planes. And he got covered by dust, and he went back the next day because he worked in South Manhattan. He worked for a big financial firm. He went back the next day and asked the workers, "You got any engine parts there?" They all laughed and said, "No, no." "You have any fuselage parts there?" They all laughed and said, "No." And the guy asked them, "What are you finding?" And 2 or 3 of the guys said, "A lot of thermite," which is an explosive chemical.
Right.
"No airplanes. Only on television were there airplanes." And he said, "Jim, don't give away my identity because I don't want to get murdered."
Well,
there were no planes.
okay.
He said all the little puffs like the 20, 40, 60,
Squib?
84.
Squibs.
And then the top kind of disintegrated. And then he said, what was it, about 20 minutes later? No plane. And the other one went down. Demolition, no planes. It's a television event. Only on television do you see the planes. No eyewitnesses said there were planes. Okay, that's just a quick aside to how much deception we've been have had shoved down our throats. I'm excited about the next few months, Ron, because I think we're going to see silver with the breakout. I think we're going to see XRP with the price discovery closer to 10. I think we're going to see some very unusual events regarding gold. Like Trump has announced that Swiss gold is going to be subject to a tariff. And this is wild. Wild. Okay, why Switzerland? Maybe because that's the enemy satanic state. Oh. Maybe because Basel is his target, Ron? Maybe?
Possibly. Somebody's asking about a potential alien invasion, and I that's not really something that I want to really get into on my channel. But
that's silly crap.
I'll just tell you this. You know, I mean, anybody who knows about Bluebeam and knows that Werner von Braun talked about that was the ultimate plan, was to do a mock alien invasion. There is some merit to that, but that's more of a topic for somebody like Dark Journalist or Danny Jones or somebody like that. So,
Ron,
let
me bring in false flag 201 theory. If you keep hearing about it, it ain't going to happen. We heard over and over again about what do you call it? A false flag nuke in Poland. And after I heard it the second time, I said, therefore, it will not happen. False flag 201. It's not basic. It's the next level up. I hope we hear about more rumors of alien invasion, because that'll be a guarantee, and that's like a nailing down that coffin. Ain't going to happen.
Right.
Nukes in the United States from the Russians on submarines off the Atlantic coast. No, we heard about it 3 or 4 times. Not going to happen.
I agree.
We might have an invasion force at Guantanamo. that could happen.
Well, what I'm hearing more than anything is I'm hearing of sleeper cells in the United States that have been brought in, and they've been here for years.
That's a problem. That's real.
That will be activated, and they're not going to be in the cities. They're going to be in the suburbs, going through and just wreaking havoc in the suburbs. And so I feel like there's a lot of that's going to be in blue areas. But there's going to be a lot of chaos, at least from what I understand. But those of us who make it through, I think it's we're gonna experience all the things that the Jetsons promised us.
Yeah, well,
flying cars and all that kind of shit.
I'm kind of curious if I can get myself a home that's in the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
above the clouds so that I can see the sunset with the clouds as a blanket below. I thought Mrs. Jetson was pretty hot. I don't know about you.
Well, that's a cartoon, Jim.
I thought she was hot.
Okay.
I was young. I had a crush on Mrs. Jetson. What can I say?
Okay. I will. That's a little. That's a little too eccentric for my taste, but it's okay. Well, let's see here. I don't see anywhere like significant.
Okay, that's okay. I'm kind of low on energy, and my attention span is slipping anyway. We got an hour and a half.
Well, and I've got
we got an hour.
I've got like 6 Bengal kittens that are hungry all the time. So
you must spend a lot on cat food.
Well, yeah, I do.
You can probably rely on dry cat food because that's like
well, I mean, I do a lot of dry cat food, but I mean, the problem is with the two females that I had that gave birth. One of them was too young. She was only like 9 months, maybe 9 or 10 months old when she got pregnant. I didn't expect that she was going to get pregnant. I was shocked that she was pregnant.
Well, you got a gaggle of cats that are going to jump on each other.
But I just didn't expect her to be pregnant. And then
they're going to try things out. They're going to jump each other.
Well,
then before you know it, they're inside.
The other one did get pregnant. And she was big, and she had 7. Her litter was 7 kittens, and she, she can't keep up with the milk production. So, all these cats are just absolutely just starving. So,
all right.
But anyway,
that's great.
Anyway,
that's great.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you're just totally enthralled.
No,
yeah, okay.
I find it interesting, but in a private conversation, not on a recorded show.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I love cats. I had a cat. My Tiffany from 1997 to 2000 was the most wonderful pet I've ever had.
The people who follow my channel know that the cats are kind of my cats are kind of incorporated in the motif of my show, so it's okay.
Yeah, I know. And is Cindy still around?
Cindy is still around. Yes,
okay.
Cindy is still around, and but she doesn't really come to me much anymore. So, but yes, I do still have Cindy.
She's probably jealous of all the attention you give.
She be. You know what? After a certain period of time, she started to get really aloof, and she started to go off and. She didn't really want to be around. She was very just kind of like, I mean, she
still inside the house though, right? Inside the house.
She comes and goes. She's aloof. She's very independent and aloof and does her own thing. And there's only one other cat that she likes. That every other one, she runs away from or whatever. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be it for today.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Let me urge people to go to golden-jackass.com. Sign up for the newsletter. You don't have to read the whole thing. Make a contribution if you only like to see shows. Make a contribution. I've got an growing list of people who are making regular contributions. This is not Patreon, but just make a contribution now and again. If you're really wealthy, help me out because I'm getting the shit kicked out of me by really weird, ugly events like fires and fraud and car crashes and medical costs. I'm getting the shit kicked out of me. So help me out so that I can stay on the air and stay happy because I'm stressed out at times. Sign up for the newsletter. It's a monthly publication the last few days of each month. I got consult opportunities. Sign up for a consult session, and I give extra time, usually when it's somebody who's, entertaining and useful to talk to, and it's a two-way street. We go extra. All the time I go extra. All right, so go to thejackass.com. goldenjackass.com. Sign up, make a contribution, make a consult. Keep me going. Keep me going. Don't be a freeloader.
Well, let me ask you one final. Let me ask you one final question. And this is going to be just kind of cut and dry. But do you have any price predictions for precious metals for the end of the year?
End of the year. I think we're going to probably see something in the mid 40s for silver, and probably something like 3,600 for gold. Not huge moves, but we got a lot of wild cards. And right now we've got demand going up for silver, and we got supply going down for silver. The gap is getting bigger. We're going to have an accident for silver, and I just don't know when it's going to be. And the accident will be like a 50% move in the silver price. I don't know when it's going to be. We're heading toward an accident for supply versus demand.
You mean on the upside?
Absolutely. 50% up, like we go from 45 towards 70. Yep.
So it'll be a total disjointed,
discontinuous move, quantum jump up, call it what you want. In mathematics, we call it a discontinuous move, discontinuous function series. We got growing demand for silver. We got falling supply for silver. We have no big giant silver discoveries in years.
Well, didn't
we're heading for an accident.
Isn't Mexico shutting down their production?
And that's another thing. We've got declining supply, and Mexico is a big part of the declining supply. They're realizing that silver is a national security commodity metal, and they're not talking about a silver-based Mexican peso currency. They're just talking about keeping the silver home for industry, for national security, but they're letting the silver go to China in a big way. So it's like Mexico and China are forming a cartel under our noses without really advertising that fact.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Go ahead.
That's one of the reasons why Trump is coming down on Mexico so hard, because
they're run by the cartels.
Mm-hmm.
And we're making a lot of progress in weakening, not defeating, but weakening the cartels. I think it would be a really interesting plan if they got a cartel war going where one was at the other's throat and they were killing each other off. By the way, the cartel wars have resulted in close to 300,000 people dying in Mexico, which is like 5 times or 8 times our Vietnam death count. The cartels are killing Mexico, and I believe this is just my opinion, I believe they've got something of a loose partnership with Sheinbaum, the president. So when Trump...
stick around, Jim. All right, guys, on that note, I'm gonna say adieu. Have a good night. Thank you, Jim. And we'll see you guys next time. I'll be here back. I'll be back if I'm not back before.